Hello everybody and welcome to another day of math. You're all very excited, right? Also, for all you students that complain all the time about wearing hats, guess what? You can wear a hat during online school. So, there's that. Okay, so we're going to be talking about finding the missing side of a triangle today. So, again, we're using the Pythagorean Theorem. This is kind of going over what we have done the last couple of days. So remember our basic steps for finding any missing side in a right triangle is to first find what side is C, or the hypotenuse, or the longest side. Whatever side is opposite the right angle, right? That's going to be our very first step. Okay? Next step is to plug all the different sides into the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? A and b, it doesn't really matter which you call which. They're just one of the legs, right? One of the smaller sides. C is the important side that you need to identify because it's all by itself, and that's why we did that first, so that we could know which side was C, because that's the important one. It can only be, C can only be the longest side. Okay? Then after you've identified and plugged in everything, you're going to square each leg, so everything you know anyway. Combine your like terms if you can, and then you're going to solve for the remaining variables. So our goal is to get one of the variables all by itself, right? So if you're solving for a leg, you'd have to move one of these to the other side, and then just combining like terms would get the C by itself if you're solving for the longest side. Okay? And then the last step, which is usually the most missed thing here, is to square root. We always square root as our last step. Okay? So let's look at a problem here. If I can move my little thing here. So we've got somebody that's buying a new TV. Lucky them. But she isn't sure what size of the screen will be suitable for her wall. So she's looking at a 42-inch screen that is 32 inches long, but she wants to figure out the height, how long this is going to be. So again, first step is to find the longest side, right? Well, my right angle would be right here, right? That's the right angle. Longest side is opposite the right angle, so 42 would be my C, right? So that means 32 is a leg, and this I'll call B. The height, I don't know. So to set it up, we'll call 32A, so it would be 32 squared plus B squared equals C squared, which is 42. And I should have gotten my calculator before I started. Hold on. I'm back. Okay. So, calculator, let's plug these in. So 32 squared is a big number, 1024. So 1024 plus b squared equals my longest side squared, so 42 squared, 1764. 1764. Okay, awesome. Now, can I combine any like terms? Nope. So next step is to solve for the remaining variables. So I have b still in here, right? So I got to get it all by itself, so I'm going to move this 1024 to the other side. Again, it's positive. To move it to the other side, I would subtract to move it to the other side. So 1764 minus 1024 is 740. So b squared equals 740. Am I all done? No, wait, there's one more step, square root. So in my calculator, I'm going to square root 740, which gives me 27.2 blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. So we're going to round that to 27.2, and these are in inches, so inches would be how tall her TV would be. Okay? It's not too bad, right? So next thing it's going to ask me is what is the area of the screen? Well, the screen is a rectangle, right? Find the area of a rectangle, it's base times height. So my base would be 32, or my length times height, length times width, however you want to think of it. Length would be 32, height would be 27.2. So I would multiply those two things together. So 32 times 27.2. I'm going to get 870.4 approximately, because I did round the height, square inches. So it's a pretty good size area. Okay. So Jane would like to have a screen 40 inches wide, 32 inches high. About what size screen would she need to buy? So then we would basically want to set up the problem here. So we're going to buy a new TV. So this is a little bit bigger than the one that she was looking at. So there's my TV. It doesn't look bigger, but trust me, it's bigger. And we always measure the size of TVs by their diagonal, right? Well, you may not know that, but if you ever go looking at TVs, it's always, when it says like it's a 70-inch TV, that means the diagonal of the TV is 70 inches. So she wants it to be 40 inches wide and 32 inches high. So this sets up just your basic legs. This would be my hypotenuse right here, right? So to solve for that, I would do 40 squared plus 32 squared equals the longest side squared. Okay? Then you just square those. So 40 squared. So again, I figured out the longest side. I plug things in. Now I'm squaring my legs. Is 1600. 32 squared is 1024. I could have just looked up above. Is equal to c squared. Next step is combine like terms. Do I have like terms? Yeah. I can combine those two things. And I would get 2624. I'm not sure why I plugged that in my calculator, but I did. And I just realized you can't see anything I'm doing. Sorry. Oh man, these videos. All right. So 2624. So this is the work I did. So I plugged things in, squared them, got these numbers, combined like terms. So these two added together equaled that. Now my last step is to square root. So I'm going to square root both sides here. And the square root of 2624 is 51.224 blah, 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 blah. So this would be 51.2 when I round it, would equal the longest side. So the size of the TV that you would want to buy would be about 51.2. And they don't sell TVs in decimal sizes, so I don't think they sell on a 51 either, so she'd probably want a 50-inch TV, but, you know, you get what you get. And then the rest of the assignment is just basically more of that kind of stuff. So we've got some more story problems, some more diagrams, but you're just following those same steps. So again, all of these, you are just following these steps right here. Figure out which side is the longest, plug it in, plug in all your sides, square each leg, combine like terms if you can, solve, get the remaining variable by itself, and then square root. Okay? And again, when you look at these story problems, I know they talked about this in the last video, but it's always best to draw a diagram, right? So a painter positions a 20-foot ladder against a house. So here's my house, you know, right there. It's a great house. It's got one window and a door right there on the edge. That's what everybody wants, right? Just one window and one door. Okay, it's a great house. I love it. Okay, then he positions it so the base of the ladder is 40 feet from the house, or 4 feet from the house. So here's my ladder. You know, it's a great ladder. It's 4 feet from the house. It itself is 20 feet long. So how many feet does the ladder need to reach the side of the house? So again, you're basically looking for this leg right here, right? So again, you could call that B or whatever. And then you just use your Pythagorean theorem. Again, drawing a diagram, always my suggestion for those word problems. And that is it for today.